Hey, beauty! This podcast is a powerful gallery of raw real life stories and the reasons that led these women to reach out to do a boudoir and glamour session. And it was created to give voice to my clients, also known as bombshells, to share their beautiful stories as means of inspiration to other women as well. We also talk about body and mind wellness for the modern women with special guests. Welcome to the Bombshell Tells All podcast. I am your host and photographer, Daisy Teixeira, America's #1 body image advocate. Hello, beautiful bombshells. This is Daisy Teixeira, your favorite host and photographer here with Boudoir by Daisy. And as you know, we always have a special guest here. Today's guest, oh my gosh, you're going to love her so much. Lisa. See, you can hear already her on the background. She's already laughing there. This lady is very positive. I love her energy. So amazing. But before we get to introduce Lisa to you, I just want to say thank you again for joining the podcast. I really hope you're having a great week and, whatever you were listening this episode from your car as you drive to work or, like from home as you do some errands or anything. I just want to say thank you so much for listening to all those beautiful stories because they do come from the heart. And my bombshells, they come here to share their story and leave that on as a mark, and also to inspire all of you. So thank you so much. And today, let me tell you, you're going to have a lot of fun because Lisa Sorge is here today. This bombshell of mine, I can call her my bombshell already because she has done her photo shoot. She came here to pick up her album.
Which is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So Lisa, thank you. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart that you are here, that you drove all the way from Virginia to get this episode done and for being here with me today. Thank you.
You're so welcome. This is so fun. Thank you so much.
Sweet. So just a quick introduction about Lisa. She was born in Connecticut in Litchfield County. And Lisa is 57 years old. It's such a beautiful woman. She lives in Virginia and she has been divorced for 9 years now, right,
yes.
Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to talk about that very soon too. So I understand that your first career is in insurance.
It was, yes.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you work with design. That's actually...
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. The second career was more creative. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. All right. So talk to us a little bit about your background then. So anything that you want us to know about your story, just so we can relate to you up to the present. So go back on your background now.
Okay. I was born in Connecticut and I was the baby of 4 children. My oldest sibling is my big brother and he is now 71. Yeah. So I'm the baby at 57 and I did my photo shoot for my birthday present. So yeah, that was what got me here. So I worked originally in the insurance industry and worked in personal lines for over 25 years. And I was kind of like a frustrated creative person, really wanted to do something a little bit more creative in my life and used to decorate and design for friends and, did special things for the holidays and loved to design in my home. And people actually encouraged me to go out and do this on my own. So that's kind of what started all of that. And I was glad to have had the opportunity to try it and to do it. Absolutely. So I started my own business 2008. And that was kind of a terrible time to start a business with the recession and such. But I was fortunate. And I was in New Hampshire at the time and carried my business from New Hampshire to North Carolina to Charlotte. And I had it for 7 years. So yeah, from 2008 to 2015. So I experienced having all of those wonderful opportunities to be my own boss, but also to have all those headaches and worries that I'm sure as an entrepreneur you face too. It's always with us, and we're always thinking QuickBooks and receipts and taxes and all of that. So I decided that I like working for someone else, actually.
Sometimes I think that you have to experience something in order to understand what you like best. In the end of the day, it's about you being happy about what you do. You know.
Absolutely. I think if I hadn't done it, it would have always gnawed at me in the back of my mind. What if, what if, what if? But I decided that I really like it more as a hobby and as an ancillary part of my work, but not to own it myself.
Okay. Okay. So, Lisa, as you had the chance and the opportunity to experience entrepreneurship and all the joys that brings, I mean, it is something that you definitely have to like. Sometimes you're gonna just find out that it is for you, or if it is not for you. Do you like the stability of a job that tells you how much you're gonna be paid by paycheck and they don't have to worry about these? Or do you like the hustle where you actually have to feel the adrenaline? And there's so many things that are involved in having your own business, for sure. But the adventure one is definitely a big high. All of us entrepreneurs, we are able to understand that because we have to experience this every single day. But I really love that you're sharing this with us, because some people, they probably have been through a similar experience as yours. They had the chance to have their own businesses and then decided later, like, okay, I definitely find myself in peace and this is what I like. I just like to work for somebody else. Yes. So
I think I found it very satisfying to create something from the ground up and work it. And then I just discovered a lot of things about myself. I love the creative part of it, but I didn't like all the bookkeeping part of it. And it's great if your business is large enough where if you didn't like that, you could hire someone else to handle that. But as a sole proprietor, it was on me to do it all. And so I found that I loved the creative piece more than the rest of it. And now I think I've kind of rectified it because I get to be creative in my work and I get to go home at night and forget about QuickBooks. So that part I like.
that's awesome. And I believe you are successful, Lisa. Success is not about the amount of clients, it's not about the figures. It's mostly about how it makes you feel, because in the end of the day, if you go home and then you have, let's call like all the financials figured out, you have, I don't know, whatever you have dreamed of, a house, cars and whatever, but you're still miserable, what is that worth it? So, of course, we still have to hustle no matter what. If you are an entrepreneur or if you are working for somebody else, you still have to put a lot of sweat. But by the end of the day, it's like, what makes you happy?
Absolutely. And I really feel like the blood, sweat, and tears, whether it's for someone else or for your own business, I think that in some ways is very rewarding to work hard and then see the fruits of your labor, whether you do that for yourself or for someone else. And I also feel like, the reward comes not just financially. It's just either in expressing your creativity, in being able to help someone, in being able to make your mark in your field, and really to positively impact someone's life. And I think that in what I've done, I think I do that. And I think you do it all day long. I just know the impact that you've had on me. And I see it, I see it in your business certainly as well. And just, how we empower each other. And that's what's so great about women. We build each other up.
Yes, we do. When you find your tribe, let's call it like this, it definitely brings you up. Of course, we're not happy all the day, every single time. It's not this. Some days we are happy. Some days we're like feeling the blues. But whoever you surround yourself with, or the messages you put like right in front of your eyes, like positivity or negativity, trust me, this is going to make a difference. So we never know what other people were going through. Like, I got a chance to meet so many people, so many women with the line of work that I do. And the interesting part is that everything that they share with me are very personal to a very intimate level. So when I get to hear all those stories, I just feel that it teaches me. I learn with other people's experiences. But more than that, I'm able to actually help somebody else to bring up that energy or find some sort of happiness with something that they already have. It's not like we are creating something new. But when you walk here, you already are yourself. We're just showing you a new different you, a new side of yourself that you haven't seen before. And that definitely helps to bring it up. So definitely surround yourself with people that will uplift you. And this is what I love about the VIP group. We have, by the way, if you are not on the VIP group yet, I urge you, go join that. So it's on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, so it's such a fun environment, So find us on Facebook, Boudoir by Daisy, exactly how you see here on the podcast. I can also leave a link. But it's such a beautiful group with all the ladies there. They bring out this positivity, cheering up on each other, making friendships. So there's a lot that goes on that group. And I feel like it's more than a group, is more of a community. And if you're looking for a place to surround yourself with, that positivity, we are here for you.
Absolutely. I think the group really has been so inspirational to me because there's women of all ages, all sizes, all ethnicities, and all backgrounds, and everyone's going through their own thing. And yet we have a way to lift each other up and truly bring our senses of humor to the to the party, so to speak. Yeah, it's been really fun to be a part of that. And I think that being part of that group has kind of gotten me to a place where I knew I would be comfortable doing my shoot. And so I think it's really important. And whether somebody is, thinking about the shoot to join or just wants to join for the positivity of it, I think it'll all come full circle. Definitely.
Definitely. And you nailed your photo shoot. We're going to talk about that soon, but oh my gosh, that lady did. I still want to go back here a little bit more on your background. But that's lovely, Lisa. Thank you so much for, being part of the group and for bringing your positivity and uplifting all the other ladies there too. I'm sure everyone appreciates you. You think you don't think so, but yes, you do. Yes.
Thanks for creating it. It's fun.
Even though we created, you ladies are the heart of it. Let me tell you, without you, there's nothing. There's no, vibe. There's no excitement. So yes. You ladies make it happen, so I'm honored.
Thanks.
Yeah. So Lisa, can you tell me, still on the positivity, and all this beautiful vibe, can you tell us 3 words that describe you?
Sure. So the first one I would say is that I'm really generous. I love to help other people, whether it's with my time or energy or unsolicited advice.
Fun.
Or sometimes to help someone along financially or if I can. But truly, yeah, so I'd say I'm generous, sometimes to a fault. I'm bubbly, as you could hear. I have a friend, an old neighbor that used to call me Bubbles. And it comes up every once in a while, and it's really funny. Yeah, so I'm bubbly, and I'm still somewhat of a rebel, so I guess I would describe myself as rebellious. Yeah. Yep.
This is a beautiful combination. I agree with your neighbor, by the way. Definitely. Oh my gosh. I got to experience you the before, during, and after your photo shoot, like full cycle. Even the before, I loved the voice messages you left me, like always uplifting, or as we are going through your outfit research. It was so fun, like you can definitely feel the vibe. And on the day of your photo shoot, we actually did some fun videos. If you ladies go find Lisa on TikTok.
On TikTok?
TikTok, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you were in TikTok. You were trending there. At least on my, not trending, but So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of those in it. I remember I loved the video that we created together where you can definitely feel that bubbles, like the bubbles coming out. It's hard to explain. You definitely have to watch it because, like as we are trying some fun things here in the studio, I remember suggesting like, Lisa, what about these, this robe? I have a beautiful robe here. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's me, but let's try just for the fun. And we did, man. It was fun.
She made me a diva.
She is a diva. She just didn't know.
It was far too comfortable.
No,
I surprised myself.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So those two of those pictures are on her album. And I love like we play like we had some martini. There's not really martini there, it's just water. Okay, the secret's out, but yes, it was water. But we just we had a lot of fun, and then that bubbles definitely comes out on you. So I love the combination. I think it definitely describes you, even though we don't know each other for like a lifetime. I can still tell.
It's amazing the connection that you can develop with someone. That was really fun. That was really fun, and it put me very much at ease.
Sweet.
For my
there
shoot,
you go.
yeah.
I had a lot of fun, and I do have a lot of fun with every photo shoot too. So I love it.
You can tell you love what you do. It shows.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, but Lisa, let's talk a little bit about your love life. Do you want to talk about that? You don't have to. I mean, unless
what love life.
Your love life.
Daisy, do you know something I don't know? I'm just still trying to figure it out.
So you're on the date scene now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I go on and off of online dating, just trying to figure it out. And it's interesting because sometimes when I'm really busy at work, I get really hard charging, and I'm just, focused on my work, and I spend a lot of hours, and I tend to develop almost like a masculine energy in my work role. So I really have learned that I have to dial it down. I have to dial it down and be a little bit more feminine and really work at it a little bit and be a little bit more, I guess I'd say delicate, but not in a wilting lily kind of a way, but just being more in touch with my feminine side. And truly the photo shoot kind of brought that sexy back for me. It really helped. It really helped me get back in touch with that part of my person, and just kind of relaxing into myself and kind of owning and loving the skin that I'm in. I think the way I described it for the end of the book was perfectly imperfect. Lord knows. Imperfect is the order of the day, right? If we've learned anything over the last couple of years, it's just been the best laid plans don't happen the way we put them forth. And I think we've all kind of embraced bits of imperfection, through the pandemic and such. And I don't know, I feel like I've embraced that imperfection in me, and that makes me who I am. So kind of made peace with that. And you've kind of brought out the comfort level with it, and brought out a beauty that I guess I didn't really see myself. And so that's really added a different dimension to how I interact and how I'm thinking about dating going forward.
That's nice. I think it's very important for all of us, no matter if you're female or male, doesn't matter. We all have that energy inside of ourselves. You describe that energy as a male energy and the female energy, which pretty much is just a little bit of what all of us do have. Sometimes on the work environment, you definitely have to show up more of one sort of energy than the other. But I don't know if to be honest, I don't know if the male energy would be the best description for it. It's just like being productive, like expressing yourself without being afraid of like others we're gonna think, because at the end of the day you still have to get your job done, that kind of thing. And for some reason it got associated with a male thing, but in the end of the day it is something that you have to do to survive on
Right. Yeah.
on your job. Like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna get things done if you don't actually ask for things, you know? So the female side is like more on the sensitive, like you are going to be watching over. Let's say like this. It's like you're using the other side of your brain. One side of your brain is like the creative, is the sensitiveness, it's about emotions. The other side is like more logical. So we all have that, no matter if you are a female or male, doesn't matter that, because we all do. But sometimes we forget to use the other side of the brain, so it kind of disconnects you a little bit, even with your own body. And I think I can relate to that in my past, when I used to be like confused. Like, it's not that I didn't know, like, yes, I am a female, but at the same time I was like, I don't know exactly which role I should be playing in this particular situation, you know? So I think it's a confusion, quote unquote, a confusion that we all have. But as long as we learn to use in the right moment, it only brings us benefits. So
Definitely, because I think, when you're a little more hard driving in business, and then at the end of the day, if you can kind of kick back and be a little more deferential to your partner, I think it's lovely. There's a way to kind of balance that nature. Yep.
Exactly, it's a balance.
Yep.
It's our balance. It's important that we all of us have that too, you know. So I'm glad and happy for you. So Lisa, let's get a little bit more personal. I think we have been getting personal already, but let's get even more.
It's so funny. I was speaking with a friend the other day, and he said, and don't forget to tell your friends I'm single as a Pringle. and it just cracked me up. So I guess, if you want to get personal, I'm single as a Pringle.
There you go. So maybe we can even record a future podcast talking about the dating scene, because you probably you can give us some tips for the folks that are looking for different ways of dating, or what to look for in an app. I don't know. I have a
Might be the comedy hour.
I think it would be a lot of fun. You're probably gonna have a lot of listeners on that one too. No, seriously, it's just that sometimes it's important to hear other people's perspectives, you know. But yeah, we'll probably, like, for a second podcast, I think that would be fun, a fun subject to talk about. Yeah. Okay. So Lisa, I want to know from you, tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, I'm actually the first person in my family to graduate with a 4-year degree. So I was fortunate enough to have a full college education. And I think that I also spent some of my college years away from home. And I think that really shaped who I am. I think it's made me more independent, a little more resourceful on my own. Yeah, so that's not something that maybe everyone would know about me. Yeah.
It's very nice, actually. So the first child, you were a baby of 4 siblings, and you were the first one in your family with a full college degree.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So what did you go to college for?
Originally, I went to school for political science, and I thought I wanted to be an attorney. And it's interesting, because if I think back to my freshman year in college and some of the lectures, and speaking of, politics and world affairs, I think so much of that is so much the same even today. So, the religious wars and so many things are still the same, which, is, I guess, fascinating and depressing. All in one, it's crazy. History repeats itself, I guess. But I decided to switch my major to business economics and marketing. And I'm glad that I did, because that gave me kind of a broader base. And I've worked in sales for many years and in many different fields. So yeah, that's kind of where I started from.
That's great. Just the college experience itself. It's not like, okay, let's be real here. You don't have to go to college to actually have a successful career, but there are things that are part of a college experience that definitely makes you who you are today too. Like, exactly what you said there, like creating that independence, being more resourceful, be more responsible with your time. So there's a lot of things that you can take, and that's definitely no other way to recreate that experience.
Surviving on a very low budget.
Oh, I can relate to
Being
that.
Being a poor college student. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we look back now, I'm like, well, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And like you say, it's not 100% required, now in today's workforce, but I'm glad that I did, and I'm certainly grateful for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. If you look back, like myself, I didn't go to college or to the university to actually learn photography. I learned on the field, but I did went to the university, and I graduated in logistics, which is similar.
Oh, wow.
Yes, which is kind of similar to business administration, but with more math and focus in other areas of that people are not really used to. So it was interesting. I don't even know why I chose that career to begin with.
I was just going to ask you. Yeah.
I think I saw it as an opportunity to get my degree done. And I was looking more into like after you graduate, what are your chances of success? Because at that time, success to me meant to have a good job, to, like I didn't have the view I have today. So that was my main focus.
And to have a job in business. I think that was mine too.
Yeah.
With my degree. Yep.
But towards the end, photography found me. So it's not like I went out there. I have been always a creative person, but I am so glad that I went to college too, because it definitely helps me on the business side. Because if you don't know, when you run a studio, specifically talking about this industry, you're not only photographing all day long. You have a lot of other things to take care of, and they're definitely related to business. So that background definitely gave me the structure that I have today to run a successful studio too.
Absolutely. Communications is so key, especially when you have someone like me who doesn't answer their email.
Lisa, you're readily, so funny.
Readily. But it's true. I mean, you have to be a financier, you have to be a communicator, you have to be a marketer, the appointment setter, the follow through, the sales department,
yes,
chief cook and bottle washer. And you have to do it with a smile on your face, because the customer is always with you, and absolutely. No, it's incredible. I've seen how long your day is, and really I was exhausted, so I know you were exhausted, and all I did was pose.
You're just modeling there all day long. And incredibly, this is just one part of what I do. Yeah. Incredibly, it's like most of it is like definitely on the computer, definitely talking to people, and I love that. Like I never really thought I was not going to have my own business. Actually, when I went to college, I remember that my teacher, he asked, like, I think it was probably like on the very first year, he asked to our entire class, so where do you imagine yourself within the next 5 years? Where would you like to be in your career? everybody was just answering the standard questions like I want to, go and work to say company, like imagine like huge companies, so that's their dreams. And I was okay, that's fun, but I was the only person in the class that actually answered I want to own my own business.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, so I always knew it inside of
Yeah.
my heart. I knew it, but I just didn't know what exactly. So but at the same time, I don't think things happen by accident.
Right, right.
I'm a firm believer in that. So if we are put in a certain situation, it's because we needed to learn a few little things here in order to succeed in another part. So this is why we
Absolutely.
should never discredit the experiences we have, because they take us somewhere that without it would be incomplete.
I think that word journey is so overused, but I mean, truly, I have really come to stop and appreciate things that have happened along the way, just chalk them up as part of my journey, whether it's something positive or negative or in between, a learning experience. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Even the negative experiences, they teach us things. As long as we have an open heart to understand the lesson. Because without going through a negative experience, how can you understand what a positive one is? So how can you appreciate when you have a good opportunity in front of you?
Yep.
So that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I can talk business all day long here. Oh my goodness. But tell us, Lisa, let's change a little bit on the business topic because I still want to talk more about you. Can you tell me some of your guilty pleasures?
You saw the dirty martini, right? That's a guilty pleasure. My Tito's dirty martini with blue cheese olives. That's a wonderful pleasure that I partake of from time to time. And it's so funny. I think everyone has their cheesy shows that they may or may not own up to watching. But I do. I love watching the Bachelor and Bachelorette series. I watch with a group of ladies, and we watch it at a distance, and we have a little Facebook group that we watch, and like a messenger chat, and we are strewn throughout the Southeast. And it's so funny because we weigh in and try to predict who the winners will be and who will fall in love with who. And it's really kind of funny. And each season we say, "Oh, this is the last time I'll watch this. This is so ridiculous. This is so crazy." It just gets more and more absurd, but that's the fun of reality TV. I mean, that's truly the hook. And then we always end up watching another time, another season. So here we are. Next one starts in July if anyone wants to join us.
Sweet. So, bachelorette ladies or gentlemen too, why not? So you found yourself a very nice group in here. So you can all discuss about Bachelorette. I think I watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. I thought it was fun. But like later I just don't know why I didn't continue, but once in a while there's always somebody talking about it.
Yeah. It's interesting, there's some like period shows now like Bridgerton and some other like Lord and Lady of the Castle, they're very, very regal dating shows. I'm just more the purist for the originals. It's just funny. As
As long as you're having fun.
Yep.
That's all it matters, and people have different ways of having fun, but it's good to disconnect a little bit from work and from reality of challenges in life and get together with your girlfriends and have a good laugh.
Absolutely. It's a couple hours of mindless fun.
I love it.
And we usually make it into a party if we're together, somebody will cook and we really make it fun. So
that's sweet. I can imagine. Yep. Oh, wow. And Lisa, what makes you feel sexy?
Oh, wow. What makes me feel sexy? I love lingerie. I really do, and everybody makes a joke about it and says the most effective lingerie ends up on the floor, right? But I really find treating yourself and wearing something through the day just kind of makes you feel empowered and special. So I would say I really love that. And I guess the other thing that I find really sexy is just intelligent conversation with a man. Just really, I think the mind is very sexy, and I appreciate intellect. I appreciate learning from people and learning from conversations. So yeah, I guess probably two ends of the spectrum, right? Conversation and lingerie.
They all end up in one place. That's good. Hey, I'm actually curious. So, how since you love lingerie, which is interesting, some people that come to do their boudoir photo shoot, they have never owned one piece.
Oh
I'm not
wow.
joking. Yes, and it is. This is impressive not because people have not done this before. Like it's just fun because they are about to discover something new they haven't done before,
Right.
and they didn't know that that could make them look so good. So this is why I think it's so funny. And I oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite parts during photo shoot planning. I tell people, send me pictures, send me pictures. I really want to see what you're ordering. Like put on a badge, snap a picture and send it to me. So, but for you, since you have been into that mentality of loving lingerie, which I love, by the way, I own a few pieces myself, but during the process of you planning for your photo shoot, how did you have everything already, or did you actually look for new stuff?
I looked for new stuff. I had actually, well, this is kind of a confession. I had actually tossed all of my old lingerie,
Wow.
kind of to give myself a fresh start. I had done that after a relationship had ended, and I just kind of got rid of everything and just kind of started over at ground zero. So, wow. Yeah. Yeah. So this time I bought it for me.
I
Yep.
love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I'm enjoying it more in a way because it's mine. And I know when I'm ready to share it with someone, it'll just be an expression of me and not more or less an expectation that someone else had or a gift that someone gave or something like that. So definitely, definitely.
I love this. It's just very mindful, like to have this as a symbol, let's say like this, of a new start.
Mm-hmm.
It could be with anything else, of course, but why lingerie? Lingerie is just. I tell people like, hey, ladies, it's not because you're in lingerie or you have a bunch of clothes that makes these whatever experience you're going through. Let's talk about the photo shoot, for example. So it's not the amount of clothes that you wear that makes this experience meaningful. It's actually the feelings, is the feelings behind it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think one of the things that I've realized in becoming an observer in the group is that sometimes people wear a lot of clothing and sometimes people don't. And I think that each one of those sessions is holds its own power. So it's not really about nudity or it's more about expression and more about you can see someone's comfort and confidence and vulnerability. I think that really struck me recently because someone had a lot of clothing on and she was just as stunning, just as stunning as someone who didn't. So I I did notice that lately. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why it is an intimate experience, an intimate photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one of the best ones you're gonna have. After you have a boudoir photo shoot, you kind of find it boring to have a business portrait done, or it's just so like, oh my gosh, everybody does that. Or a family photo shoot, which is funny. Of course, you're not gonna do, like a boudoir photo shoot with, like with lots of people around you, but it just gives you a different perspective. It's definitely special.
It does. It
Definitely
does.
special.
Yeah, I wasn't into my LinkedIn photo after that. We tried, right? We did try. We tried to give me a good professional shot, but I just wasn't up for it at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it is interesting. Like when I show pictures to people when they come here to see their gallery, they start with, of course, we're still warming up. You have still those pictures that we're taking that are definitely like me teaching you. Anyways, we're gonna go for the next one. Lisa, what keeps you up at night? What kind of worries do you have, or if you want to share, of course.
Wow. I guess, being on my own now, I guess, always being self-supporting and really wanting to make sure that my work is fulfilling and makes a mark. So it's important for me for my work to be important. And obviously making a living is paramount because I'm on my own right now. And so I would say some of what keeps me up at night is financial, and just worrying about the next 10 years, wanting to work through 67 or so and really making it count. So that is front of mind for me right now. Gas prices and food prices notwithstanding, I guess that keeps me up. I'm excited about the next chapter of my life whenever that starts again, and meaning like to find another love and open to that. And I guess it doesn't keep me up at night, but I certainly would love that to be part of the next journey too. Yeah.
You have those things in mind. I'm a firm believer that what is yours, whatever is yours that is already, let's call like in the journey, is part of your journey, but is not just here yet because it's part of your future. Whatever is meant to be will happen if you force it or not, because it's just meant to be. It's part of your journey. It's part of your story over here, So
I'm a woman of faith, so I realize that I'm not the one in charge of it.
Exactly. And we have to also understand that we cannot have control over everything. Sometimes one door shuts for a better opportunity to come out, and we just have to be patient, really resilient. That's very, very important, and have faith. Absolutely. And never stop enjoying life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny on the love side. I don't know if I told you this, but when I got divorced 9 years ago, and my ex-husband and I are still really good friends, and sometimes that cuts both ways. I think it's easier probably to start over again if you've had a bad experience, and you can just cut ties with that person and be like, overdone. But it's kind of cut both ways because we do care about each other. We are good friends. We've lived in different states now for most of the 9 years. But I think we're not in love, but we have an endearing quality for each other, like an abiding love and friendship for each other. Yeah. Yep. So I think that, that's a lot of people don't have that. And there are a lot of people who are divorced that go through a lot of heartache and troubles with children and, continuous, fighting and developments and stuff over the years. I'm fortunate not to have that, but it's kind of interesting because it cuts both ways sometimes too. And, that's something that you make your peace with over time.
Completely understandable. And to be honest with you, I would prefer to end up like a long-term relationship in good ways than burning bridges, because I mean, for so long this couple has been building a future together, learning with each other, being partners, and then suddenly you just decide that you don't love each other anymore, and then you hate each other. What is that? So it's a part of respect. It's a respectful way of going. So
we were fortunate. Even my attorney really commended us on the dignity with which we conducted ourselves, which was so weird to hear, when you're going through that. But truly, compared to what a lot of people experience, we were fortunate in that regard.
That's amazing. I really hope that more stories like yours in that particular sense, they come out there. I'm sure there are other couples that also end up amicably. However, we don't hear much. We just hear the full fights and the full drama, and it brings you down, and then it kind of makes you believe that's the only way to go. And it's not.
No, it's not.
It is
Nope.
not. So I think that's definitely something that if you were put in this life to learn, I think you learned the lesson already. So you have been through this already. Lisa, I am loving our interview. It is very clarifying, and I feel like I have been learning with you sitting here and sharing all your moments in life. But I want to know from you, Lisa, what is like, I feel like everything in your life is exciting. You might not think that, but let me tell you, it is. And probably you don't know this, but some people definitely, I don't know if the word is envy, but they admire your story, because you do have a different story. And all of us have. We all have something that inspire others. And I can tell just by sitting here and talking with you, I can envision like your life like as unfolds. And it does make me happy and, excited for what is coming for you next. So
Wow, thank you.
yes. And this is what I tell people like, hey, you think your story doesn't inspire others? Oh, totally wrong. So yours definitely does. But I want to know from you, Lisa, did you have like any sort of a pivotal moment in your life that made you, I don't know, think more or, kind of give you a wake up? So do you have like any pivotal moment?
Yeah, so there were probably two. And the first, my dad passed away when he was 64, and he was just shy of retirement. So it's always sat in the back of my mind to really do something that I want to do and not just have to do for work. And I think that kind of led me to the moment when I decided to leave my insurance career and get into design because it was something that I really wanted to do. So I was kind of a frustrated number cruncher, and I really wanted to do something more creative, and I took the chance. And so I think that was really pivotal. And like I said, I went through and owned my business. I think the creativity piece still really defines me, but I think I realized that I didn't want to own my own business. So there was that learning from it, but I truly think it was when I took the chance to try something different. And if people that are listening have the opportunity to try something different, don't be afraid. Just do it, because you can always go back. You can always go back. You can always learn something from it, and you can always go back. I would say take the chance.
And the best part is that whatever you learned never ends. I mean, it always sticks with you. It's the same thing like investing in your education, like it's part of your career, or you can put in your resume. You can, and this can be applied for anything. It can be like from opening a business. It can be for any other situations in life. But if you have like that calling inside of your heart, at least try. And then you can say you tried. And what if it's meant to be, or if not, at least you understand that, whatever learning experience you had from that situation, you're gonna take with you forever. It never ends. It's like going to school and learning how to read. You're not gonna just not unlearn how to read.
Absolutely. And you won't
Right?
have that what if, with the big question mark in your life. Like I would never want to have that about this. So definitely.
That's awesome. I love it. So share with us your motto or your favorite quote.
So it's kind of my motto, and I guess, my family members have heard me say it, and I often say, expect nothing and you'll never be disappointed. I think sometimes we hold our standards so high, or we expect something from someone else who has no idea that we're expecting this, and then we sit and wait and expect something from them that doesn't happen. And so I think if you expect nothing and you work for everything that you have and you create your own destiny or create your own reality, then you're not disappointed. No one's ever going to disappoint you if you don't expect something out of someone. And then, more religious note, Matthew 5:16 really strikes a chord with me, and that's the verses, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And I really just want to do something good. That's kind of my purpose. I feel like I need to bring light to someone. I love working with seniors now. I love working creatively. I love working with seniors in their spaces and kind of helping them prepare, their next places where they live. And I really think that kind of guides my work right now. So definitely.
That's beautiful, beautiful. And I love the passage. It definitely shows that hard work pays off. It's not, I think that sometimes people takes like a misconception on the word hard work. When, for me, hard work at least is like you putting your heart and, your honest work into something that is going to change people's lives. It's going to change your family's life even, but it's not to the point where you overwork yourself so much that you also don't have the mental space to appreciate where you are, or you're just so tired all the time. So I don't like to use too much that word hard work into that sense, but it's just to tell people, hey, whatever you put out there, it's coming back to you. It comes back to you. So if you put good work, good results come back to you as well. And the passage definitely is very beautiful. We can definitely define with a lot of people here. So Lisa, as we walk towards the end of your interview here, I still want to ask you, like, going back to your photo shoot today, that now that you are officially my bombshell, because I can definitely call you that now. Tell me with your own words, like, what does the word bombshell mean to you?
I would say that being a bombshell is kind of owning your sexy, owning your feeling beautiful in your own skin. I don't know. You just have a certain, after experiencing something like this, you have a certain different way about you. I can explain it. I have a group of friends that I get together with every Sunday, and pretty much without fail. And one of my friends, just a couple weeks after my shoot, she said, "What's different about you, Lisa Sorty?" She was like, "What's different about you?" And I said, "I don't know," and she goes, "You just seem different lately. You just seem like you have this little lilt or something, you look like you have like a smirk, or you have a secret or something, just really," she said, "There's something different about you." And I was like, and she goes, "I don't know, and she said, "I don't know if is it new makeup, new hair, or," and I said, "No, not necessarily." But I think just a little bit different way about me after doing this. And I hope it lasts. I mean, I think that's probably why people do these sessions again. You peel away different layers of the onion, and discovering things about yourself. But I think that it was definitely a gift for myself, but being a bombshell has really, like I said, put myself back in touch with my sexy.
That is beautiful. Bombshells, did you hear that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's why I do what I do. And it brings me so much joy. It brings joy to my heart to be able to show that, first of all, to have your trust, because I completely understand it's out of your comfort zone. Definitely not something you do every day. A lot of people do it like maybe once in a lifetime. And like Lisa said, like people do come back for those photo shoots again later. But it's definitely a beautiful way of getting in touch with yourself and unveiling that bombshell that is already inside of you. That's what I tell people, like, girl, you just don't know yet, but your bombshell is inside of you, and I'm going to show you. That's beautiful. So What was your number one takeaway from that experience, Lisa?
I think it really was, like I said, I did this as kind of the birthday gift to myself for my 57th birthday. And, I was feeling a little old and, feeling a little frumpy. And I think one of the things that it did for me was it made me realize that I could be beautiful at any age or at any weight or at any circumstance in my life, at any certain chapter. And I think that was really very reassuring, and that's probably what's given me this little difference. I think that's what it is, and you helped bring that out, so thank you.
Thank you. As Lisa was actually sharing all those beautiful visuals that she has from the experience, I was actually dancing here because, oh my gosh, it's music from my ears. Wow. So, in a few words, if you have a piece of advice, Lisa, for any woman listening to your interview today, what would that advice be?
Life is short, right? So don't put off things that you may want to do for yourself or for others. Don't sell yourself short, and know your worth. It sounds like a laundry list, but truly, again, with the pandemic time, this has taught us that life is precious and it can change, it can change on a dime. So truly, don't put off the things that you really want to do. You just never know. And really, just know your worth, because if you know your worth, you can do anything. You can absolutely do anything. Don't sell yourself short.
Amen, sister. Woohoo. It is time for the crown forward. As you know, at the end of the interview, I always ask a bombshell, like my previous bombshell, to leave a question to the future bombshell. And my last guest was Anita. And Anita has asked Lisa the following question. After your session, how did you feel?
Wow. So after my session, I guess I felt powerful and beautiful. I left here and I went and met a friend for dinner, and I just, while I was waiting for her to get there, it was so funny. I kept taking selfies because I couldn't believe it was me. Must have been the eyelashes, but I was really like really feeling my own. It was funny. So yeah, I felt powerful and I felt beautiful and I felt like I could take on the world. Definitely.
That's amazing. And I tell people, like, hey, when you come for your photo shoot, try, if possible, try to take the day for yourself, because you're going to feel exactly how Lisa is describing here.
That was great advice.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
like,
so glad I did.
Don't go to work. I mean, go take a friend out on a date. Go on a date with yourself, even if you have to. But go spend quality time with yourself, because there's a lot of selfies, I'm sure. And I have done this twice. I can relate, and I'm like, no, I am taking that date. Totally, this is for me, and I love doing the selfie part. I'm like, this is just so amazing, It's like that one little day that you get to really spend with yourself, because we are givers. We are always working, like putting it 100% to work, to family, to I don't know, anything that you have going on in your life. But when do you really get to do this for yourself? So enjoy, take the day off.
That's great advice. I guess my question, kind of going forward for the crown forward, would be to ask the next bombshell, when have you felt the most confident in your life?
Ooh, this is pretty. I am so excited to hear. So who is going to be our next guest? You're going to find out on the next episode. But I love your question, Lisa.
Thank you.
And I think that was a very nice moment for us to sit here and talk. You have so much to share. I really appreciate you taking the time, doing that interview with us, sharing your life story.
Thanks for having me.
And I truly hope that it wasn't your only time doing, a photo shoot. And we definitely be planning get-togethers with the ladies on the VIP group. And like I said, this is just the beginning. It's not because you have done your photo shoot. Oh, I'm done. No, we're not done with you. You know, this is, like I said, it's a community. We are all sisters. And I'm really looking forward to have you in that beautiful community out there. So again,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us that opportunity to be here with you. And if there was anything else you wanted to mention.
Yeah, no, I think we've said it all, and I can't speak to the process enough. I really can't. Daisy's incredible at making you feel comfortable and bringing out the best in you, and you'll learn so much about yourself and have fun, be girly and just giggle and really have a special time with memories that will last for a very long time beyond your book. Absolutely. Beyond your photos.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, ladies, this was it. I had a lot of fun chatting with Lisa today. You know, so much to learn from her life experiences. And I appreciate if you are taking anything out of this whole episode, this whole life story. This is why we do this together. You know, there's always something out there that is going to inspire you. And if you allow us to be there, to be part of your journey, we really just have to be grateful for, you know, that opportunity. So thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful episode of the Bombshell Tells All, the show. And I look forward for the next guest coming up in a few weeks. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Ladies, thank you for listening to today's podcast. Please don't forget to share the positivity and love with your friends by subscribing and sharing this message so we can continue producing more content for you. And remember, self-love starts within. I am your host and photographer, Daisy Teixeira, with the Bombshell Tells All, the show.